actually pop in. Okay. Okay, Facebook and whatever. Here's your 60 seconds of exclusive content in YouTube. What is the it was a streaming network where like every episode was like 10
Quibi.
minutes. Quibi.
Yeah.
That's not a trailer, that's Quibi.
I believe it was an abbreviation of Quick Bites, something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Quibi, I believe was what it was.
I think you're right. I believe you're right.
It's gone.
StreamYard says my connection is unstable. I think they lie.
You did.
I
kind
don't
of
think so.
freeze
You
for a
keep
minute.
lagging a couple, here and there.
A little bit.
There's no way. I have a bajillion gigabits of internet.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what my eyeballs are seeing.
Do you have it or are you paying for
Both.
it?
I mean, I could reboot the things, but it would take too long.
Is it on
right.
paper or is it a speed test?
It's
So
both,
I had to stop that trailer simply because I'll just start rocking out. I gotta stop that.
Nick's gonna start. We're talking about. We'll get to open this with the Superb Owl trailer. Nice. The Superb Owl trailer announcing who's going to be in the Super Bowl halftime show. This is the most excited I've been about a halftime show in a long time.
Same.
You're talking Eminem, Snoop, Dre, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar. Like, I'm expecting Tupac's hologram because they played California Love. Like,
They will. Yeah, they will. Well, and it's interesting that Mary J. Blige is in that mix because every other one that you listed was a West Coast rapper.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
So it's interesting.
Looks
I
good.
wonder if there will be a Biggie appearance as well.
I don't know. It's gonna be something. At this point, the Superb Owl.
I mean, here's the thing. I was gonna watch it anyway, but now I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, like after
I don't even, who's in the Superb Owl?
we don't
Have
know
they
yet.
decided that yet?
Tom
Yeah,
Brady and somebody else. You can just assume.
Have they?
Nick,
have
we
they
need you to
done-
call it now so we can say it's the opposite of that.
But I don't even know who it is.
We don't.
Uh,
Nobody knows who it is.
I
Yet.
saw
All the more
a,
reason for you to call it now.
I saw a video, like it was like a TikTok video. It was like, I put $100,000 on the Patriots to do something, and my business partner seems to love the idea. And the guy's on the phone yelling at somebody out in the street, and he's like,
Oh man. So So Superb Owl is gonna be great. Going to be a good time. So
To answer the question about Quibi, launched April 6th, 2020. The service raised $1.75 billion, dissolved December 1st, 2020.
raised $1 bajillion, did nothing with it.
Mm-hmm. Was around for
made it rain.
less than a year.
Yeah. So many of those things, those streaming services, you just something's got to hit. Like, here's the thing. I don't want to commit 8 minutes to something. And their whole point was, oh, you could watch it in the bathroom or on a train ride or something. 8 minutes isn't enough to get me excited about anything. Like, there's no buy-in in 8 minutes. Like, I don't care. Like,
You
so
could be like Eminem. In 6 minutes, Slim Shady, you're on.
so, speaking of streaming services who may or may not know what they're doing, let's talk about Hulu and How I Met Your Father. I'm just not sure, Sam.
Yeah.
The pilot was terrible.
Wait, why
Like-
didn't you like the pilot? What was wrong with the pilot?
Here's the problem. I love How I Met Your Mother. I
Yeah.
love that show. It's in the top 5 for me,
It's so good.
if not top 3. I love
Yeah.
that show, and it was such lightning in a bottle.
Mhm, mhm.
In this show, can't decide if it's that show or not. Like, there's some very obvious lean-ins to How I Met Your Mother. Like, very obvious.
Yeah.
But like the whole shtick in the beginning with him talking to her mother or whatever, how I mean the older version of her or whatever, in
Yeah.
like the technology. This is 2050. This should work by now. Like, that line was
Yeah.
pointless and useless. Like, no. And you get, to me, like, we've had that before with How I Met Your Mother.
Mhm.
Don't try and recreate it because you're just going to get compared to it. I think if the show like just kind of sat on its own,
Yeah.
Like, may not be bad. I like some of the cast. I think it's very, I mean, I think some of them are very funny, but you know, I think it has a disservice of the fact that it's not How I Met Your Mother, because like you go to the pilot of How I Met Your Mother in the first couple episodes, and that
Which I
show was so strong from
Mhm.
the get-go.
Mhm,
This
mhm,
show
mhm.
is just weak. It's just weak, like the coffee Valentina makes. It's just weak.
I appreciate the reference, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you. I think that, granted, the first episode, to go with the negatives, um, I didn't understand how they knew each other. Like,
Yeah.
this is supposed to be New York, and these people all suddenly are just pals. You know, they get in a car and they're like, "Oh, hey, I'm the Uber driver, and I brought this guy that you don't know." And she's like, "Oh, hey, guy, tell me your life story. I want to know all about you."
Yes, because this is safe.
Yes, because that's what we do in New York. And so, I think it did misstep a little bit at the beginning in putting everybody together, but I would argue that the main character is stronger than Ted. I like her better than Ted.
I'm gonna go more interesting than Ted.
Okay, more interesting than Ted.
I can see that.
I think the strength of the old show was it was everybody else. It was, you know,
Oh yeah,
Barney
everybody
and
in
yeah,
spite of Ted.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know if we have, like, in this one, I think we have a stronger Ted, but I don't know that everybody else is going to stand up to. You're right. If you're going to have that comparison, I don't know if you're going to
Yeah.
have another. I was trying to figure out, you know, is the roommate the new Barney? Is the guy's sister the new
Yeah.
Barney?
The
I don't
guy's
know.
sister. I honestly, I think the guy's sister is the standout of the entire show.
Yeah.
Like, she's hilarious. She is very funny.
She is
Um,
very funny.
it's yeah, I agree with that. Like, and that may be part of my problem with it. Like, you look at How I Met Your Mother, and the setup was so good. Like, they're all these friends. They're in a bar from the very beginning, and then you meet Robin,
Yeah,
and like the setup for Robin is so good.
it was.
And then,
Have you met Ted?
have you met Ted? Like, I mean, stuff that's still said to this day. Have you met Ted? And then you get like,
From now on, we start the show. You got to say, "Suit up."
suit up. And so maybe that's why I have an issue with it is the disconnection amongst the people. It is episode 2 was much better than the pilot.
Mhm.
I want to go to a club FOMO that has like a what was it, a classic candy room?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. All the old candies from. Oh, those have got to be so gross.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering, like, you guys opening the baseball card packs and church wanting to eat the gum.
Didn't
No,
didn't he
no,
take
no.
a bite of gum at one point?
Yeah,
I
for sure.
choose to believe he didn't.
He did.
No, I'm certain he did because we
I'm
had a pile of
imagining.
it.
No, that didn't.
We had a pile of gum the same size as the pile of cards.
True.
It's gross. They sounded like bricks when they broke.
Yeah.
One is still stuck embedded in one of my teeth. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
haven't-
I'm gonna do something real quick. Matt says my video's flipping in and out, like freezing. So I'm gonna bounce some things.
We've seen that. Okay.
Because for me it's perfectly clear.
See,
You
what's
guys are
funny
perfectly
is-
clear.
What's funny
There's
is he
nothing.
thinks we're lying to him. We ain't lying.
I do. I don't. I trust.
You froze
him.
just now.
I
We
wouldn't
just
get.
need
In,
to
I
have-
wouldn't. I wouldn't get in an Uber car with like, hey, here's my buddy.
We just
Like,
need to have Matt tell him everything from now on.
Yep. All right. I'll be back.
And look, the good Reverend even says it's choppy.
Okay. I'll be.
Ooh.
But it's just me, not anybody else. Yes, Reverend. Please confirm.
I only see you.
Okay. I'll be back.
Okay.
Sam and I both stop.
So, Nick, you've never seen How I Met Your Mother?
I have not. I have
You need
not.
to. It's a really good show.
I have
mean-
heard. I have heard that it is a fantastic show, but no, I have not ever seen it.
Oh, okay.
You know, we for the longest time only watched like Disney Channel,
Mhm, mhm,
Sophia the First and all those things, and so I just never. I've not been for a very long time a sitcom watcher. I think
Oh,
probably
okay.
high school was like the last time I really watched one, and so I don't know. It's just not something I watch. And the commercials on regular TV are a little scandalous. So even if the show is kid friendly,
Oh, touche.
it's all the commercials I got to deal with.
It's all
Like
streaming now, though.
true for that top tier pricing.
Mhm.
Yeah, but no, I've got to try to protect the kid and make her. I don't know. I've got to try to keep her as much of a kid as I can.
I get that.
So
Maybe that should be a new segment, whatever your progression of getting back into TV should be.
yeah, maybe. Well, we're gonna watch the second. It's not Fantastic Beasts, I don't think. That's well, we're gonna watch the second one. I don't know if that's
man.
actually the
That
title
got
of it.
dark.
But it did, and Joni and I
Yeah.
rewatched it, and so we watched it just the other night, and I saw the part that I was worried about, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we're good. So the questionable part about the Imperious curse. So, Josh, if you're still watching, are Sam and I choppy? Because to both of us, I think we look like we're normal. So let us know, please.
So the second one was that Crimes of Grindelwald?
Yes, because Harper saw a trailer for the
Mhm.
third one and wants
Oh,
to go
yeah.
see it. And so, okay, it's good now. Good deal.
So all we need to do is get rid of Cav and everything's good.
Thanks, Matt. I think you're great too. So, okay, this Super Bowl trailer, and I realize we're gonna get to it, but that's
Mhm.
pretty rad that they made a trailer for something. That's pretty cool.
Have they ever done that before? A trailer
I
for
don't
the
know.
Super Bowl halftime show?
I don't know. I don't watch football, so I couldn't tell you. I watch the Super Bowl or Superb Owl
Right.
once a year. That's
Mhm.
it. I don't watch Bedlam. I just don't care.
Probably for
So
the best.
yeah, it's just not my thing.
Makes enemies.
I just don't like watching people careen into each other and with the intent of trying to knock somebody out. Like if I wanted to watch that, I'd watch UFC or back in the day K1 or Pride Fighting, something like that where that's the goal.
Okay.
Yo,
There he is.
So Cav, we were great while you were gone, according to Matt. So, and I just for proof.
For proof.
All
Uh-oh.
He
Oh,
gone.
dear.
and I'm back.
And he's back.
I gotta switch them.
Well, let's just talk
Oh,
about
he's moving it
whatever.
all around, man. I'm getting confused now. Where am
Oh,
I?
no.
Am I really on?
Oh, what year is this? I don't know. Okay.
Are you guys up to date on Book of Boba Fett?
No.
I'm a week behind.
Okay, well, I will say
Yes.
I love it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also a diehard fan.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the criticisms of people, and that's all I'm gonna say. Because even this last episode, I was kind of like, seriously, like we can't move the story along a little bit.
I've been enjoying it. I
Yeah.
heard about what happens in this last episode because
Yeah.
apparently you can't avoid it on the internet.
No,
And
I have no
super
idea.
interesting. I mean,
So apparently I can't. I'm terrible at interneting.
Josh says every other episode is very good. Just a little blah at times. I would agree with that. I think a lot of the episodes are good. I think from a Star Wars fan perspective, it's great, but I don't know. I guess I want to see more of what happened after Mandalorian.
right?
Like not
There.
before.
Moving the story along. I go to yeah. Very
Mhm.
true.
Okay.
I'm glad he's a friends with Voltron though. That's good. So, all right, Cav, go for it.
All right, what are we talking about? How I Met Your Father? Meh. We'll give it a roll. I think it's like 10 or 12 episodes this first season. It's Hulu.
Well, I think we came up with a new segment too.
What's that? Cav complains about something?
Progression of watching regular TV with Harper, not Sophia the First and that kind of stuff.
I mean, obviously we'll have to start with Sophia the First.
No, never again, please. I saw a meme the other day and it said, before you have a kid, you need to seriously ask yourself, can you watch the same cartoon for 4 years straight on repeat? And I was like, God, that was my life. That's why I still know the Sophia the First song.
Alrighty. All right, so let's talk
We're
about
waiting.
the other. What are we waiting
No,
on?
not singing it.
Alrighty, let's talk about
We're waiting on Nick to sing the song.
Oh,
Negative.
let's go.
Negative. Not happening.
Milo has escaped the room, which means Mojo is now free in the house.
Uh-oh.
This is not good.
I think
So
you're
let's
still
talk about
cutting out
Moon
of it
Knight.
there, Cav.
What's that?
Let's talk about Moon Knight.
We can. The
Hey,
trailer's
yeah.
awesome.
Let's talk about Moon Knight.
I know very
So-
little about Moon Knight, other than the
Same.
trailer was really good.
Same, but I know that one of the people in Colorado that are our inverse, there are our metaverse version of GTN, the NCG folks. I know that one of them is very amped about it because it's his favorite character ever. He's even he's resorted to putting daily countdowns.
It's
Oh,
gone
that's
that far.
awesome.
He posted a picture of the poster where it's like his fists, you know, he's holding the moon things, and he says, "The Marvel Universe ready to catch these hands." I think
should
it
be-
looks amazing.
It looks really good.
I didn't expect him to think that he was crazy. That was a little shocking.
Yeah.
You know, from
Well,
just
that's the
being,
character, right?
I guess I don't know anything about the character, so I don't know.
Aren't all
But I'm
superheroes a
excited
little
to
bit
see it.
crazy?
Do what?
Aren't all superheroes a little bit crazy?
Yeah,
Just a
Yeah.
touch.
yeah. That's
Maybe
fair.
more so than others.
That's
By the way,
fair.
speaking of crazy, right now not yet confirmed, but posted runtime of the Batman, 2 hours 55 minutes.
So it better not be a Titanic movie.
He will
Yes,
get
yes,
on
it
the
will
he
be.
will get on the door at the end. Rose isn't going to leave him out, whatever. But 2 hours 55 minutes is what's being posted.
He has a grappling hook.
That's true. He could grapple to the Titanic, or grapple to the sinking
Bat
part.
boat. It's funny.
I am very excited. I did get a Batman 66 utility belt the other day,
Oh, nice.
signed by Adam West. I'm stoked. Still in the box.
That's super cool.
It'll go with the cow.
Why is the movie so long? Why do you think the movie's so long? Because that's a long movie.
I think. What Sam? What was the runtime on Dark Knight? Like 230, 235?
I don't remember. Let me look it up. Mm-mm-mm.
So, because this is sort of like a Batman Year 2-ish thing, like it depends on like, it could be that they're just telling a really long story. That it just, you know, in order to get everything you want to get out of it, you need that much time. I've always been okay with long movies. I would rather see
232.
232.
Okay.
So you're talking about 20 minutes more than longer than Dark Knight. The problem with the 3-hour movie, if it is in fact 3 hours long, is like even in movies like Avengers or something like that, that's 3 hours. Like you've got to keep it moving because you'll feel it. Like you kind of felt it a little bit with some of the newer Star Wars stuff like that. There's just these ebbs and flows in the movie, which is normal. But when you hit that 3-hour mark, like that's gonna be tough. My other theory was that after the credits, you're gonna get a 30-minute episode of the new Gotham PD series on HBO Max from Matt Reeves. Like that's why it's 3 hours. The movie is this, but it's only this. So yeah, 2 hours 55 minutes is what's being said. I'm down. Like the trailers look really good. You're cautiously optimistic, at least I am, about things. And
I'm ready for it. I
yeah.
want to see it for sure. I think it looks great. I just that long of a movie, it better not just be him punching people in the face all the time because that's going to get pretty old.
The PG-13.
I'm sorry, but you're going for the wrong reason.
Yeah. The PG-13 rating concerns me just a touch.
Because you
Not
want
a
it
lot.
that hard R.
Because you look at what the original trailer is, and you look at how brutal he is, and you're like, man. But here's the thing: PG-13 now is not the same as PG-13 5 years ago. Like you can get away with more now. But
See,
to be fair,
I would think it'd be the other way around because like PG back in our childhood was PG-13 for sure.
I just think that we're desensitized. Maybe
PG-13
just
was like
maybe
R.
just with violence in general. I feel like we're
Yeah.
just as a society more desensitized to violence. Whether that's good or bad is a whole other episode. But the other part of it is like you go to Dark Knight, which is, you know, conceivably the best Batman movie ever made after Mask of the Phantasm, of course. And it was PG-13. So But would I
And
love
it
to see
feels
a
like an
rated
R.
R version? It feels like an R. If
Yeah.
would I love to see a rated R version of that movie? Oh yeah, I want to see like that Joker. But it's going to be exciting. It's Sparkle Bats. We'll see what happens. Our Battinson, whatever we're going to end up calling him.
Spark Bats.
Um,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it. I think it'll be good. Just curious on time, so I don't know. I mean, it might
255
be
is
worth it. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I remember a day when if a movie was
It's a
3
commitment.
hours long, you get an intermission in the middle of the movie because like you need a minute.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I think I was with you whenever we went and watched. Oh God, I can't remember what it was, but it's still a midnight showing, and it was
Yeah.
like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour long movie, whatever it was. Might have been a Harry Potter movie, I think, but
Could be.
anyway, it was at Cinemark on 71st. It's been years ago, but anyway, yeah. Speaking of Harry Potter, since I just said that,
March,
and then
Jeremy.
Rock's got a question. Go ahead and answer that question.
March.
If we know.
March.
So interesting fact, I said the Titanic movie, and then it clicked in my brain. In the second Harry Potter, the second
Titanic
Fantastic
movie?
Beasts movie, they're on the Titanic. Like, I didn't even catch that.
Oh yeah.
As we were watching, I was like, why are they sinking? That's the Titanic behind them. Like,
There's a lot
it was
of
so
really
cool.
uncomfortable conversations you might have to have whenever
Yeah,
you're
well, no,
going
she knows
through.
about the Titanic. I mean, she knows what's going on. But yeah, so anyway, it's just crazy. Like, all the connections that they made in that movie with real life events made it feel
Yeah.
so real. It's pretty cool.
It is
Pretty
very cool.
And so with Batman, I hope that they make it somewhat tie into kind of what we've seen in the past, but be its own thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think the lines are going to be pretty clear cut on this one in terms of it not being anything about anything else. Like,
So like it's going to be like, I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I am Batman.
Batman.
Okay.
Just
check.
I just
We are
Yeah,
definitely
got
going to
that
make
in
one of
it.
those cuts.
As long as
we'll
it's got
use
that.
we'll use one of those. I just it seemed like Batman Year 2 and that style of story has never really been done before in a live action form. The early, more brutal Batman. The closest thing we've seen was Affleck in some of those in Batman v Superman and stuff like that. When he's branding people and whatnot, like that's the closest brutal bats that we've seen. But and the thing, it being its own thing is fine. My biggest concern about all of this is what if Sparkle Bats is a really good Batman? And what if he doesn't want to do it after this? Because, he does some pretty amazing other things. Maybe he doesn't want to be. Now, granted, Warner Brothers probably said, we signed you to a 5-picture deal, but I don't know.
I'm counting on the fact that he's a good Batman. Because if not, it's going to make it really hard to watch anything else Batman related for a while.
I don't think we've had
Putting a lot on those shoulders.
like, I don't think you're going to get a Batman and Robin. And this is a movie I still enjoy. Don't get me wrong. A Batman and Robin level of bad Batman. Like, we'll see Affleck in The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see Keaton as well.
Michael Keaton in The Flash too?
Yes. We'll see those two there. But I don't know. I'm excited. We'll talk more about it as we get closer to it. Tobey Maguire is also in it.
I think
so is Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and whoever did the animated Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think though when you go to watch it, I think what I hear you saying and the vibe that I get from the movie is you've got to let go of all the other stuff and just enjoy the movie.
I agree.
Because
100%.
it's going to be its own story.
You're excused? Question mark? Can any of you answering a coding question for me?
She's working on some homework.
Up, down, left, right, start.
You missed a semicolon or a closed bracket. Reboot.
Or one of those little
turning it
try
off and back
things.
on again.
The little try bracket thing.
Oh yeah.
Just that. And then if you're looking for the straight line, that's right above your enter key. I had to learn where that was.
Yes, Rock. It's C pound.
Yes.
C hashtag. Really.
It is more of a general question. Fire away
Oh.
with the general questions.
We were trying to
Sorry,
help Harper.
general question.
We were trying to help Harper learn how to set our house alarm, you know? And I said, hit the pound sign. Like,
Oh no.
she was like,
What's the pound
"What's
sign?
I was like, the hashtag, hit the hashtag.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Next generation.
Yeah, we're gonna like you're gonna call the bank to do something and type in when you're done, hit hashtag. Click.
Well, now it's the bank says hit the pound or hash symbol. Like it says that in the
Oh.
things now.
Well, Equifax does not. I can assure
Yeah.
you because I was on the phone with him today.
Speaking of multiverses in general, have you seen these rumors going around about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and who's showing up and what and where and how and all this stuff? Like the
No.
different variants of people.
No.
Now, none of this has been confirmed at all.
But that's
now,
pretty rad if that's true.
Like they're talking about a Tom Cruise, Tony Stark variant.
You know what? I saw that the other day and I didn't know what that was about because I haven't read anything.
Yeah.
And it was like this really like, Bigfoot-esque picture of someone called Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like,
There's like a Tom Cruise, Tony Stark variant. John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic, which we've talked about in general of that being good. And a bunch of other people that apparently we're going to see all of these things in the Multiverse of Madness, and maybe there's small cameos or whatever it is. Excuse me, but like,
what if Tom Cruise playing Tony Stark acting like Tom Cruise on Ellen?
is he almost muted for anybody but me? Like I didn't get that at all audio wise. Try it again.
Sam, did you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. That's weird. All right. So I said, what if Tom Cruise plays Tony Stark playing Tom Cruise on Ellen?
Dude,
Like,
On
what if he's
Ellen.
doing, like he's Tony Stark, but he's acting like Tom Cruise when Tom Cruise was on Ellen.
I mean,
That'd be hilarious.
It would be.
hold on.
Andy's in the Iron Man suit, talking about how he's in love.
At
I miss
least-
him being in the Iron Man suit, but acting completely drunk. Those were good times.
That was a good one too. Yeah.
That was a guy who did not have any problems.
Nope.
Let's see if I can find this article real
My
quick.
book just told me to print whatever words.
I was gonna say, are we all reading Hannah's
Yes.
question?
Do we put that up in the chat or not? That's the question.
So this is what they're saying, cameo wise. Professor X, Patrick Stewart will show up. Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage. You've heard the Tom Cruise thing. There's been Ed Norton Hulk. There's just a whole list of them, and then all the John Krasinski Fantastic Four stuff as well is in there. So there's no telling what this is going to be.
I think it'd be. I think it's going to be great if any of that's true. I mean, forget the Tom Cruise thing; like that was just funny. But
yeah,
like if any of those versions of people show up, like that will be awesome. Only because you've seen it in other situations. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's been alluded to, and you've kind of witnessed it, and I don't know. It's cool.
They're also talking about the Robert Downey Jr. will return as Iron Man, but one from a different universe where he didn't.
Where
he didn't end with Thanos. There's no
Oh, okay. Well, Thanos was right. So what difference does it make?
That's true.
But I mean,
What
you know,
difference?
I think the part that excites me about Multiverse of Madness and the possibility that there might be different versions of people is because you've seen that in like the Flash, right? Like you've seen it in the Flash show.
Mhm.
And so people are on board with that concept if they've watched those shows and enjoyed that aspect of things. So why not do it in Marvel where it's already happened in like the story and everything? Like,
Yeah.
it'd just be totally worth it. I don't know. Especially if they can make it happen.
Yeah.
Tom
true.
Cruise for Iron
Make
Man.
Make it happen. Mojo, he's just like, I want to be on camera. Mojo,
Hi,
look at your post
Mojo.
up here. Come here. Up here. On the desk. Okay. He's like, no, maybe not.
He said, "No, that's your place. I'm good."
That's true. He's like, I'll get everywhere else but that. There's the mojo. All right, so let's talk about the other big news that hit. Activision Blizzard's being purchased by Microsoft for 70 billion space bucks.
Was that in Bitcoin or space bucks?
That was-
Space bucks.
Microsoft, they can do cash.
It's in World of Warcraft gold. Like it's an in-game transaction.
Wow, gold.
Oh, it's in WoW gold. So this is not.
I saw an article that said, "Sony, don't be fooled. Microsoft can buy you next."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's
Cav, I don't think you saw, but did you see Mitchell's thing that he posted?
I wouldn't have seen it.
No, I know. Sam, did you see it? Where it was like a picture of Twitter.
I don't think I did.
Okay, I'll share it, and I'm not going to repeat it, but it was that same concept of what you just said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Mitch is where I saw it, and I just didn't know.
So $70 billion is what it's looking like right now. And this is something we talked about before when we talked, several episodes ago about all the issues happening in Activision Blizzard and all that other stuff. Like the fact that if somebody was going to buy them, now was the time because their stock price was at an all-time took a huge hit. You could buy Activision Blizzard for, I don't want to say a song because $70 billion is not a song unless you're like Beyonce, but the fact is Microsoft saw I absolutely nice. I absolutely think that Microsoft saw an opportunity here and took it and said, I can buy Activision Blizzard for 70 million instead of 80 or 90, sorry, not million, billion. And so I can take that, whatever,
right.
and save $10 billion. Like, why wouldn't you do it? Because Microsoft at this point, they've changed their model. Like, Microsoft has always been behind the eight ball a bit on the console side. Sony traditionally outsells them, has for a long time. This is the closest it's been in a really long time. But the thing that now Microsoft has that they don't is Game Pass. And Microsoft doesn't care about your console because Microsoft's getting $15 a month from you, all of the Netflix model. And now if all the major providers are going to be there and you're never going to have to pay $60 for a game again because it's going to be on Game Pass, like it's a huge win for Microsoft in general. It's an expensive win, but it's a big one. So it's going to be exciting. So of course, the first thing that when this broke, what we started talking about is their not so lovely CEO, Bobby Kotick, and what was going to happen to him. And Microsoft very stupidly posted, he'll continue to lead Activision Blizzard, blah, 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 which is dumb. I very rarely ever comment on like large posts from people like Microsoft or Xbox on Facebook. Rarely ever do I comment on these things. My comment was, acquiring Blizzard Activision, great. Keeping Bobby Kotick around, noob. Like, it's a noob move. So, but some people are saying
it's crazy.
Some people are saying that what they meant by the statement was he's going to be around for the transition, and leaked emails that came out from him, stuff like that. This may not close for another year, that he's going to stay around at that point. And then once the transition is over, he's out the door. And I would say that probably makes sense.
I think I read somewhere he had like a contract through next year or something like that.
Could be. And this is the crazy thing. At the stock price that Microsoft offered them, which was $95 a share because of the number of shares he has, something like that, it's like $400 million in stock value, not even including what I'm sure his golden parachute exit package is going to be.
Is this GameStop stock?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, didn't he also say that he would be resigning?
No. Oh, no. He has too
Who
much
was the guy
ego
that
for
said
that.
they were resigning? Right after he said he would stick through it.
There were some
There's been a lot
people. they've had a lot of their
But maybe from
leadership who
Blizzard,
came
maybe.
in and then flip-flopped and waffled out of there.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say you put that karma on him, and you hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
I'm no noob. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think it's a great acquisition. I think it's
Rock?
I think it's a great opportunity to I don't know what the Game Pass revenue is in a year.
Plenty.
Hold on.
A bajillion.
You're probably not wrong. Hold on.
Think the number's easy to find?
3.2 billion.
A bajillion.
Yep. 20 Xbox
There
Game
you go.
Pass has 25 million subscribers. There's just an article that thinks that, and this is from May of 2021, 270 million a month up to 3.2 billion per year.
Jeez.
Yeah. They're now saying with the Activision Blizzard, Microsoft's gaming division is set to overtake Windows as Microsoft's greatest revenue generator.
Ah.
What was the haha for?
Mm.
No.
I think it overtaking Windows as the most as the biggest revenue generator is pretty cool.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yep. It says Business Insider reports with a minimum subscription of $10 a month, it pulls in roughly 250 million every month. At that pace, Xbox Game Pass subscriptions are positioned to make approximately $4 billion between now and January 2023. So now, granted,
Sorry, you're still cutting out a lot for me, so I'm kind of catching
I
bits
can't-
and pieces.
I don't know. Where is it cutting for anybody else or just you? Nick, you got me or no?
I got you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sam,
Just me.
reboot all your stuff. Maybe it's a StreamYard problem.
It might be. Oh, man, he took you for reals.
He says he's in the stream
I'll be
with
back.
audio only. Sam? No, Sam's really gone. So let this be a lesson. Reboot all your stuff before StreamYard. This is my biggest concern with StreamYard is it's becoming more and more popular that you have to wonder about the back end
Yeah.
and its ability to keep up with everything that they're doing. Oh, this is something I'll also try. If you haven't noticed, we have background music. Hold on.
I can't hear it, so
Oh, I can. Rock, can you hear the background music?
I could hear it earlier, but I can't hear it now.
There. We will. No more background music.
Yeah, when you played it before we got started, I could hear it.
Yeah. I wonder if it's only in.
So
Who knows? So yeah, 4 bajillions. That's 4 bajillion space bucks. That's Microsoft.
well,
He
it
said, yeah,
is
but
what
I
it
had
is.
I had it turned down. Oh boy. Let's see. There's a lot of game stuff. We'll wait for
We'll play
Sam
that
to come
background
back.
music loud and proud. Let's make it happen.
So yeah, they're talking about there's a big thing happening in Kosovo and Kazakhstan and stuff like that when it comes to Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
Because
They
apparently
just
they're in the
cut
middle.
power.
They're in the middle of a Rock. I turned it off. They're kind of in the middle of a power crisis, and apparently no one has paid for power over there in like 20 years. And
Yikes.
so they just started to cut some stuff out because now that's a pretty decent amount of the it is not a small amount of the full Bitcoin mining capacity in the world is out of those countries. I think it's like 15 or 18%.
Wow, that's a significant chunk.
It's a big chunk of it. And so there's a lot of hardware there, stuff like that. So people are either either selling off their gear, or they are either selling off their gear or they are, trying to move it to other countries. Iceland, who also is having a similar power crisis, is basically turning away potential cryptocurrency miners because they don't have the power to do it either. Congress is going to start talking about it.
So why are they having an energy crisis? Is it? I mean,
I think it's a demand capacity thing. I think
Okay.
the
That makes
the
sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
just
makes
think
sense.
I think population density's gone up and they haven't kept up with power capacity. I mean, here's the thing: every country who doesn't look at it is going to have the same problem at some point, which is why things like alternative energy and stuff like that are so important because you can only burn so much coal. You can only do whatever to generate enough power.
Right.
Um, so, U.S. cryptocurrency miners are believed to be the largest consumers of energy, followed by Kazakhstan and then Russia. The only reason China's not on that list is because China cracked down really hard on it. Like, was flying helicopters and stuff around places with thermal cameras, looking for heat plumes for people's houses and stuff like that, based on where the power company would say this area is drawing X power. They would go find it.
I thought it
Um,
was just like in, the Griswolds where they just flip on the nuclear reactor. I mean, I didn't figure it was this big of a deal.
At some point it's going to be, there'll be people running off generators and stuff like that. But
Which is
um,
just a wild concept to consider when you think about how cryptocurrency has a play in kind of the world economy right now. Like it's just
yeah,
wild, you know?
it's
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 crazy.
yeah. I mean,
It's a little scary, not gonna lie. It's a little scary.
what's interesting is like we've been our generation in general has been around for a couple major like technological revolutions. Cell phone was probably the biggest one. Um, and then these tremendous leaps forward. And we are literally at the doorstep of cryptocurrency and what can be done and where it's going to be in the world and blockchain and all this stuff. Like it's a huge game changer long term. I don't know that we're still going to be alive by the time they actually figure it all out, but at
I don't
some
know, man.
point,
I mean, we've taken leaps. I mean, you can buy a car with it. Like there's already some infrastructure in place that kind of supports the creation of it, if that makes sense, you
hmm
know? I mean, there was an NBA player that took his salary
yep,
um, in cryptocurrency.
yep, NBA too. There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
NFL, there's an NFL, NBA. Um, I think yes, those two. Maybe there, maybe an
They took him
MLB.
in Bitcoin, so I don't
Yeah,
really know what that translates to, but
right
still.
now it's like 30 some odd thousand a coin, but at the time
Jeez.
is the difference. Like, and this is the gamble they play. Like when someone like Newegg takes Bitcoin, like right now it's value is, call it just for ease of math, $35,000 a coin. Well, so someone buys $35,000 worth of gear out of, whatever. Newegg takes the coin, they hold on to it. And all of a sudden that coin goes from 35 to 50,000. Newegg has just made an additional $15,000 for holding on to said coin, but Newegg also takes the risk.
Hmm.
If
Sure.
Bitcoin bottoms out, which is incredibly unlikely at this point, they've just lost a bunch of money.
Hmm.
But that's why like these alternative coins, like the biggest problem we've got right now is Bitcoin will remain a big leader, but Ethereum is also there, um, in how things are going to be done. Now there's different ways to mine. There's proof of work, proof of stake, stuff like that. Some are way less energy sucking than others, and most people are trying to go to the more energy efficient version of these things. Um,
Well, and speaking of the proof of work and all that, that's where those NFTs come in
mhm,
to attach them to the blockchain that you figure out. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. Well, there's, I mean,
It's
uh,
essentially a Thomas Jefferson dollar bill. Like if you think about it, you know what I mean? Like you're putting your face on money just like we do in the United States and every other place in the country
you
or in the world. I mean,
I'd like to, at this point, I'd like to announce the Gather the Nerds NFTs. They will be available. You too can own my face for 7 Ethereum.
7 Ethereum. What's the math on that
Right now it's about $25,000
for 7 or
for a
per coin?
seven. They're about 3 to 3,500 a coin right now. I haven't looked at the market today.
On your face. That's nice.
For my
You
yeah,
can use Sam's face for 7 Bitcoin.
that's true. in Church's face
you're
for
getting ripped off.
7 wheat pennies. He's not here to defend himself, so
You find 7 wheat pennies, it's yours.
it's yours. You own Church's face. Like,
And a pack of bubble yum.
yep. And we'll even give you a pack of baseball card gum.
Huh.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no, technology is just wild. We were the same way you were going. We were talking about the fact that your Bitcoin empire in Kosovo got unplugged because they don't have any power.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
Kosovo's pulling the plug. Didn't China crack down on miners?
cracked
So they're
down.
all
Yep.
yeah.
It like if somebody can produce just basic, like, the fact of the matter is that the environment that these things can run in is so inhospitable for the most part. Like, you can run these things in a storage container, if you have a fan on both ends and just to blow some air through. Granted, you're going to burn up hardware that way, but at the money that you would be making if you had a storage container full of GPUs doing that work, it wouldn't matter. Like, so I don't know. It's interesting.
I think it's fascinating. I don't fully understand all of it, and that's okay.
I don't either.
But it's just it's interesting and terrifying all in the same route, because let's just say in 5 years from now all of this takes over. If you haven't been mining it to have it, like, you're kind of out of luck on that situation.
Not necessarily. You buy it. I mean, you
Well, I
would.
know, but if I have to buy one coin for $30,000 because that's what that coin costs, I'm kind of screwed. Because then I only own one coin. I don't own 10
Yeah,
million
but you also don't have to spend whole coins at a time. Fractional transactions are absolutely a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like,
That's
I've
good.
like for Ethereum or whatever, like, I mine Ethereum or whatever, and it's 1,000th of a coin at a time.
I think the part that bothers me, though, is that with it being purely digital, the
Yeah.
hacking aspect of it, and then you lose everything.
Yep,
is
that's where you
scary.
got to be real careful about things. That's why I've got hardware wallets and stuff like that, and not like it's not just in some exchange somewhere that someone can hack because the admin password is password 1.
Oh, I thought it was God.
No one would do that.
Yeah, nobody would ever do that.
I thought it was God.
I need to change my password. But
Listen,
okay,
I watched Hackers, and they said God was the word. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop guessing my passwords, Nick.
Oh, so Microsoft's buying Activision, $80 billion or $70 billion in Bitcoin or something. Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Yep.
Shiba Inu.
Yep. So I am a Shiba Inu billionaire, in that I own like 1 billion coins. It's worth like 47 cents.
Worth it.
Yeah. Worth
Open
it.
on a dream on that one, I think.
For sure. I mean, it's a total meme coin, and just on the off chance that at some point, like, something goes crazy and it hits $1. Now, granted, it only works if somebody wants to buy it.
But that, I mean, truthfully, that's true with anything, though. Like,
For
if
sure.
you think about it, like, your house is only worth what someone's willing to pay. Like, you can
True.
have a house that's worth on paper $250 million. If somebody only wants to pay $150,000 for it, it's only worth $150,000. Like,
True.
It just is what it is.
I
think we get caught up with, like, it's worth this in our head, and we don't pay attention to the signs of reality. Like, well, it's only worth what somebody's going to pay.
True.
So it's funny.
Nick, I will give you $7 for that spaceport behind you.
Deal. Is that 7 doll hairs or dollars?
Well, it's negotiable.
No.
We'll make it happen.
Dollars, please.
Okay.
Okay.
So in going back to the Xbox acquisition, obviously one of the big things was talking about, exclusivity. Activision Blizzard holds one of the largest franchises in all of video games, Call of Duty.
Only one.
Well, one and several. And that is an obscene amount of money that could be lost by Sony if it goes exclusive. Phil Spencer tweeted earlier about 6 hours ago and said, "Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony." He probably was just laughing at them. "I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship." Let me attempt to translate what that says. we know you've got contracts or whatever for this to be a co-platform game. We're happy to leave it there. By the way, it's going to cost you. Like, it's like, we're not going to make it exclusive, but you have to buy into the contract to do it at this point, to the tune of $70 billion.
$70 million.
So that, I mean, I'm sorry, but Microsoft is not doing this right if they do not leverage the leverage they have over Sony that they've never had before. If they don't use it, that is a mistake. Now, Phil Spencer and Xbox in particular have always been very cross-platformy, way more than Sony ever has been, especially Xbox into PC and stuff. So it wouldn't
We really
surprise
count
me.
that.
Well, I mean, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think, if anything, with this amount of leverage that they do have, maybe we see more cross-platform games. You know, like Destiny is a true cross-platform game. PC, PlayStation, Xbox at the same time, same activities, like same everything. With this new position Microsoft has and one of the biggest, developers, out there, maybe this is something we see more of. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. And they'd be like, yeah, we're going to continue to develop stuff for PlayStation because they're going to get their cut of the software no matter what. That's where the real money is. But here's the deal, developers. You have to make it truly cross-platform. I don't know.
Well, and we've been seeing a lot of Sony stuff come over to PC.
Yep.
Recently, we had God of War, Horizon, Zero Dawn. I believe they announced the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming. So
Ghost of Tsushima is coming as well.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about. That almost got me to buy a PlayStation just to play that game.
I thought you had one.
I do not. I had one to raffle for Extra Life.
I thought you got one to play Spider-Man.
He sold it for $70 kajillion.
I sold it for $70 kajillion.
That was a PS4, right?
It was.
You did.
I may have bought one. I may have one. I did. I think I probably owned one at one point. I don't think I ever took it out of the box. So I started playing Destiny, and that was 5 years ago.
I have a PS4. I have played Spider-Man. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Until you get to the end.
Well, that's what I was telling Johnny. I was like, I'd love to have a play. We were just talking about games and stuff, and I was like, I'd love to have a PlayStation, but I would only want it for like one game. Like I want to play Spider-Man. It's not worth the money. Like
Spider-Man and Miles Morales.
Still not worth the money for me. 2 games. It's $100 worth of a game for like a $600 thing. No, thank you.
You remember back in the day when you could rent like console systems from Super Video? Like, I'm gonna go rent a Super Nintendo for the weekend. Those are the greatest weekends of my youth.
I remember renting Sega Genesis because I had a Super Nintendo, so it was always the ones I didn't have. So I still have a Super Nintendo. It's over. It's actually back there
in the desert,
in the dungeon, back there in the dungeon.
In the dungeon,
yeah.
Along with the NES.
Excuse me, sir.
Nintendo 64 and PlayStation.
Could you send me to the dungeon, please?
Yeah. It's in there with Din Djarin and Boba Fett's ship.
Nice.
And the Rancor.
Oh, and the Rancor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rancor is suspiciously good at video games. Like suspiciously good. The only person who made me better, Awesome Games did a done quick speed run charity event, raised $3.4 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Awesome.
As with its annual video game speedrunning event. That's absolutely amazing. So apparently he did a blindfolded run of Sekiro. That is he ran through the notorious Mitch Grizz ran through the notoriously difficult Sekiro Shadows Die Twice while blindfolded, completing the game using only auditory clues in just over 2 hours. He has beaten the game in just under 2 hours blindfolded live stream in December. The Chinese speedrunner Just Blind holds the record for fastest Sekiro Shadows Die Twice speedrun at 1 hour 42 minutes. So that's pretty amazing. $3.4 million is awesome.
It is.
So that is super cool. Super cool. Let's see what else we have here. Lots of Blizzard, Microsoft, this, that, whatever. That's there. What is this? Limited Run is doing what's for Xbox? What are we doing?
Yeah, Limited Run has only been doing games for they release physical copies of games that are typically digital only,
Yeah.
and they've only done Switch and PlayStation up until now, and they're going to start doing Xbox too.
Is there another company like Limited Run who did like collector's packs? Because somebody did a Command and Conquer one for the Steam version. That wasn't Limited Run? That may have been somebody else.
They do collector's packs. I mean,
Okay, there's a main
they
one if it
do.
was them.
I don't know if that was them necessarily, but that's
Yeah.
essentially what they do. Is they give you like usually there's a base, there's a super fancy one, and then there's like a deluxe edition. That's where it's where I ordered the Scott Pilgrim KO edition that still hasn't arrived. It comes with a poster, cards, art book, soundtrack, drumsticks. I don't know, but yeah. Up until now.
So when is the expected release date of said or production date of said program that you will get it in your hands?
Oh, of Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
It got delayed by quite a bit. Actually, it's funny. I ordered both the PlayStation and the Switch version. I got the PlayStation one, just the standard. The Switch one is the one I got the Super Deluxe.
Yeah.
And I've already got the PlayStation one. I played it. It's great.
Nice.
But the Switch one still hasn't arrived. I do not have an ETA on it yet. Apparently, it was initially delayed because of the soundtrack. Like there was some sort of
licensing issue,
and that honestly was the biggest draw for me because I love the soundtrack for Scott Pilgrim. But yeah, I don't know. Last update I got said delayed past December due to shipping constraints.
So it's on a container ship somewhere in the Atlantic,
supposedly,
or Pacific, one of the two.
But yeah, they've been doing some big games that we would recognize recently. I think they did a Knights of the Old Republic, and they were doing. Actually, they did a whole string of Star Wars ones that looked really good.
Nice.
But they've kind of hinted that they are going to start doing Xbox games soon. I don't know that they even announced which ones it will be, but just that they are going to start doing Xbox as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm super excited.
Nice. This is I'm just going to read the title of this article. The so-called BioWare magic is BS, former Dragon Age producer says. I edited that slightly.
Good call.
Yep.
The article did too.
Yeah, he says the development practice is pretty much that. Said on a given project at BioWare, this is from who's got this. GameSpot has this. On a given project at BioWare, workers make their way through development without making significant visible progress at a regular pace. If development can continue this way, it'll take 30 years to release a game. They said what happens at a team hits a pivot point and elements of a particular game begin to click together. Talking of this stage of development is referred to as BioWare magic. And they're like, yeah, no. So, what is BioWare magic? BioWare magic is a bleak process. It's putting a name on something that says, don't worry, don't freak out. We know that at a future date, it's all going to get faster. It's all going to work out. Reality is that working out is where crunch comes from, and that's where delayed games come from. BioWare magic is BS. At least BioWare magic that is used in that way.
Yeah.
So
that's the big concern.
Yeah.
It's not getting better.
No, it's not. So, and here I'm thinking the other thing too, like this kind of goes back to the Microsoft, pulling Activision Blizzard. Like when someone like Microsoft or whatever, they own a significant portion of the major developers, not all of them, but enough of them that people pay attention. They kind of get to dictate the work, the work environment quality at that point. If Microsoft treats its developers well, and obviously they have a need for them and will for the foreseeable into the well future, like people aren't going to have to put up with it because they're going to have opportunities elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just waiting for the Microsoft acquires Bungie. Like I'm at some point, it's gonna so it's gonna happen at some point. It has to. Destiny is too big of an IP for Microsoft to leave it out there.
Just leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they realize at this point, they got Halo from Bungie and let Bungie spin off, and then Bungie goes and creates Destiny, and now it's too big of an IP. Microsoft's like, man, that was a mistake. because Bungie IP is much more than just the game. Like I've said, we've talked about it multiple times. The thing that I want is a Netflix anime series based on Destiny. Like the Netflix anime series are so good. Like, and that world is so vast. You could do it all the time. Speaking of Destiny, did anyone else see the Lance Reddick tweet? So some guy was tweeting at Lance Reddick, who's the voice of Zavala, every day, saying day whatever of trying to get Lance Reddick to record Guardian pick up the damn phone so he could record it as his ringtone. So Lance Reddick basically in his mind says, if he does this for 50 days straight, I'll do it. The guy stopped at day 45.
Oh no.
He did it anyways, potentially opening a door, but he did do it, and it is pretty fantastic. It's like, Guardian, pick up the damn phone. Like, it's really good.
It's fantastic.
Yep. Big changes come to Destiny. They announced today. We won't go into the TWAB too much, but lots of stuff. Sam, it is going to be the perfect time for you to come back in for Witch Queen because everybody in the game is getting leveled on power. Everyone's going to be 1350.
Oh, good.
So
He even told me not to play right now until
there's no point unless you want to get a specific gun or something like that, or you want to get something that won't be available.
Killer horn.
Yeah.
Do I just have to pay the $60 to unlock that stuff?
For Witch Queen? Yeah, probably. So they are vaulting some things, but don't worry. The horse survives for at least another year. So, okay. Hour's up. So, we didn't get to everything.
So it is.
I think we got to handle the Superbow real quick.
Didn't we talk about it?
We already
did we talk about Superbow? We talked about Superbow.
Google the trailer. It's worth it.
We did
Absolutely.
a bit,
yeah. Google the Super Bowl halftime trailer. It's going to be the greatest halftime show in recent memory.
Watch it tank.
Watch it be awful.
Yes.
I mean, Snoop's going to be.
It's going to be hard with Eminem, Snoop, and Dre together for it to be awful, but just
true.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing: it's got to be better than The Weeknd, but that's not a real high bar.
This is true. I need them driving lowriders into the stadium.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's a must.
Like, and somebody needs to be like standing on a hood or whatever, and literally get launched onto the stage. Like someone just bounces it high enough.
Yeah, there you go.
And off they go. I mean, you have Lady Gaga flying in, doing something. You've had people come out of the middle of the stage. The Weeknd used a pre-recorded thing if he was trying to get through some stupid maze that was on the stage. That kind of stuff. Like, at this point, how could you not bounce Eminem off a car onto the stage?
Yeah. It'll be interesting what songs they play for sure.
And yeah, how they edit it. If you're watching, go watch How I Met Your Father. 2 episodes on Hulu. Let's see what we think. When do episodes even drop?
I'm hopeful. I mean,
Thursdays?
First
Thursday?
2 episodes were Tuesday, right?
Oh, were they? Okay.
The 18th.
Cool. Wow, has it been like that? I thought I was like, I'm like 2 weeks behind. Maybe not.
No, I think they both dropped that day.
Okay. So I'm reserving judgment. I believe there is potential, but so far, I'll say this. I watched another episode of Cobra Kai. I like this more than I like Cobra Kai. Just saying.
Sorry, Nick.
I'm really questioning our friendship right now. Like, you've kind of crossed the line with me.
Have you guys been enjoying the Halo screenshots I've been posting on the?
Oh, yeah, fantastic! Please keep that going. Please, I hope you have like 100 more.
Are those from you when you guys played together?
Yes, yes. Every single one of these, I actually went back in theater mode and took it myself, and I was
that's awesome.
So happy when we could do that.
Dude, I mean, I don't like it. It's a hard choice of my favorite right now, which is the upside down grunt, which was fantastic because I feel like I may have been around for this because I know exactly where that is.
Yeah,
like I know exactly where that is. The rocket is just church. Like it is just like
when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, he's done the same stuff forever.
Oh yeah, no, this is not.
Just wait until like 3 a.m. after we've been trying to do Vault of Glass for like 6 hours to then mess everything up.
Yeah, no,
God.
this has been Church's MO from the beginning.
I
Since
mean,
the dawn of time.
I do have to say the funniest thing though was Church throwing that grenade clear across the map, and you going, "Dang it, Church!" Oh, it was great.
I'm gonna go with one of my favorite things. I don't remember if this happened to me or to Matt. I feel like this is a Matt thing. You were be like dropping down or jumping into like a small area in Destiny, like that you have to jump into like from a ledge or whatever. And Church just launched a rocket and hit somebody as soon as they came down and stopped all their momentum, and they just fell to their death. Like,
I think it was probably everybody.
it's true. I mean, the glory, the absolute beauty of it is the fact that you could not see them coming because they were like dropping from somewhere,
Yeah.
coming from the side. Like you had no idea when they were going to actually hit the opening, because you can control your jumps and glide a little bit and stuff like that. And he just nailed it. I mean, just nailed it.
And see, those are the things that I miss. That even with the recycled content, I wish we could all get together and play, because I miss that stuff. Like that's part of the reason why I don't play now, because it's like not as much fun. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
We've-
cool.
we-
and
I
all.
agree.
It's just not
we've-
the same.
it's true. We need to get the band back together,
Yeah,
do some things, shoot some walls.
but yeah, this is today was part 5. Church and I got separated, and we're on opposite teams, but we're still in the same Warthog,
Yes.
still riding together. So I've got,
Yeah, I caught that. That's funny.
Bungie's always had that thing for the number 7, so I figured I'd just do 7 pictures, but I don't know. I may have a few more if you guys want to.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I think do it. I think do it
Yeah.
until you don't have more.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then go steal other pictures and claim them as your own. Like, this is the internet. Who's going to call you out?
Everyone.
Everyone. All right, gang. Episode 189 of Gather the Nerds, as we creep ever so slowly towards
Old age.
the double old age and the double century.
Already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to go back to the early videos, from when we first started doing video versions of this. I need to go back to those and like look at the like gray hair comparison and see if it's like, I need to go back, because I go back like Facebook's like, look at this picture from 3 years ago. I was like, I look like a child.
Yeah, it happens.
It happened so quickly.
Yes.
They grow up so fast.
Like, nice. Well, gang, episode 189 of Gather the Nerds will be back next week. I am Cav. That's Nick.
See you guys.
Sam.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
I love it. See you guys. Good night.